I am Brick Princess Buttercup and I've got a swingy chair today because I am not, for once, on my bed. I'm actually down sitting at my desk, which I don't use to build. I should use to build, but I don't. I do it on the floor, on my bed, or on the couch. And actually I've got some part builds down there on the floor right now. Anyway, I thought I would try and feel like a grown-up. Yeah. So I've been a bit AWOL. Ooh, AWOL. AWOL. Oh, I think AWOL. Just like everybody, life gets a bit complicated sometimes, and currently going through a complicated phase. But I thought to help get my head straight and do things, I would go back to what I know helps me, which is, yeah, doing creative stuff like Lego. So that's why I'm back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that robot on your face. I am pulling him apart. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not building today. I'm going to pull him apart and I'll talk about how I made him and why I made him as I do it. It's just going to be a simple, quick little video just to get back into it. So what you see here, this little part here, this is what started it all. This was it. I trod on this piece sticking up and I was like, ow, ow. Picked it up, and as I picked it up I went, oh, that reminds me of those old wind-up tin robots. So I made one. I made him, and he's not based on a specific one, but there is one little dude that kind of did inspire him. There's a lot of the stuff about him. This little twirly thing on his head, for instance, actually I think it's a spring in the original one. I'll see if I can find a photo of it, and if I can I will put it about here, this space there, so you can compare and contrast. Oh look, I'll put him side by side. So we've got him almost in focus, there we go, and then this dude. They're like brothers, long lost brothers. Okay, so this was the seed part. So I looked at this and I thought that would make the feet, because I don't know if you've seen how they move, but they're kind of like, because the feet are joined, so they're not separate. They've actually got like a bar across, which is what we've got here. Yeah, so that was what sparked it, and then I was like, oh, I needed to get some shaping, and I wanted to make sure that he had the mouth. So I set it into one of these little Technic bricks, so for the face. And what I like about this robot, well, I like a lot about this robot, but what I really like about this robot is he's an upside down build, because I do love building upside down. For any Australians in the vast viewership that I have, any Australians, you'll know Mr. Squiggle, and you'll know Blackboard, like hurry up, and Mr. Squiggle with upside down. He would often draw pictures upside down. You had to turn it up, and I remember just being blown away by the fact that you could do that. I didn't know you were allowed to do that as a kid, and seeing that. By the way, if you don't know what Mr. Squiggle is, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should really look it up, because the man who did it, and I cannot for the life of me think of his name, let's just call him Wonderpants, because he is amazing. He made all of these puppets himself, and he would operate the puppet, which is Mr. Squiggle, which is the man from the moon, and he has this giant pencil for a nose, really tall hat, and it's a really kooky little character. But the thing was, people would send squiggles into the show. They'll put it on a large card, and there was a talking blackboard that, very grumpy, he'd stick the card on there, and then Mr. Squiggle would take that squiggle and turn it into a drawing as he spoke with the co-host, who was a live host. Miss Jane was my favourite. Now, he would do that, but he was the puppeteer, and he was doing it upside down. So he was actually doing the drawing upside down, but he couldn't see because he was like, you know, just absolutely amazing. Like, it's just phenomenal. Like, I don't know how people can think like that. So anyway, check it out, look it up. You will be astounded, and if you're not astounded, you'll be just regular astounded, you know. Okay, so this little dude, yeah, he started from here, And then I was like, oh, I could use one of the little key pieces because I adore those. Is anyone else a massive fan of those? I just, oh, every time I see them, I'm like, oh. And have a little pause because there's a plane going overhead, and because I'm pulling this apart, so I can't like do a second take or anything. I just have to go for it. Alright, so I had this little twirly part here that I've made, which, as you can see, is the modified plate with the little light fitting on the side. It's really cool. And just to give that extra little bit of shape, I used a little jumper plate and then a 1x1 stud, which I turned on an angle so that it just gives, I just like the way that the light plays when you don't have all of the bricks flush, like, because if it's all too neat, I mean, he's already really blocky. I would really like to have like a bit of roundedness on here. So if I rebuild you, which I think I probably will, I'd like a little bit more softening, like here on his shoulders you see that curve, and on his head I really like that. So I'd like to keep that, like these little slopes here, they didn't quite do it, so I need to keep it at the side here. I should have done more on this part, I think. Yeah, anyway, okay, so we take off the little whirligig off the top, I don't know what you call that, and then the side I used jumper plates for the ears, which just come off the brackets. I love the brackets. Oh, I mean, I know I've got massive crushes on all kinds of pieces, but the brackets, oh, the brackets are the spackets. I mean, that makes no sense, but I stand by it. I stand by it. They are the spackets. Okay. Take off his eyes. Oh god, I feel so mean. I'm taking off his eyes. Oh, and when I'm disassembling, I'm just using one of these cool, I love the dots trays. They're so fantastic for like part sorting, so I can put the pieces straight in, because there's, you know, there's genres of parts, so I can put them straight in so it's ready to go. So I've got the little round ties are going into one and the jumper plates are going into another. Put slopes over here. Oh, look at him, poor little bubs. So rip this all off. So this, oh, now you can definitely see that it's upside down. You see there, now he's only got half a face, and here's the top, and you'll see that's how I did it. What have I got that I can hold behind? Hold this in focus. See if this works. I was told this tip, I like it. Does that work? Oh, actually does rather, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I stacked it up with the brackets, as I said, on plates and built it onto these inverted step slopes, which these guys are fantastic. There. Every time I see them, I'm looking at them going, I could make, oof, I'm going, there's something I could make with that, right? And they're the pieces I used when I did a mock of Venice, and I made a gondola. So because it's got that it's just like a lyrical curve that it has. Like, look at that. Oh, stunning, absolutely stunning. Anyway, we'll take those dudes apart now. There's so many cool parts. We are so lucky now with all of the new directions that they give us parts to do. But my problem is, when I see a cool part, I want about a gajillion of them, like these dudes here with the step. Like, it's just so cool to be able to build like vertically and horizontally, but on 2 levels, so that then you can extend it out with a plate this way, and come down. Oh, the possibilities. Oh, it's just so thrilling, right? Okay, take these little guys off. Now the arms, I wanted to have the little claw effect. I tried a few different things. Let's just take these straight off. And yeah, that was probably the trickiest part of the whole build, was just to see what would give the most claw-like feel. And these, they're so awesome. I mean, I know one, I keep saying that this is great, that piece is great, but they're all great. They're all great. They're all my favorite. Whichever one I'm currently using is my favorite. But the shape, you see them and you're just going, there's so much that you can do with that. And obviously I made it into robot hands. And all of these pieces, they're just built up. I'm smashing it everywhere here. Just built up from just try it and see, suck it and see. So I put them together and I've forgotten how I actually did a lot of this. I've got the little gun blaster handle and I've attached it here to one of these Technic braces, so with the circular hole, which again I love because you just look at it and you go, it already feels like something. Like you hold it and you go, already feels like something. I was actually asked to see if I could do a series of like one piece builds, and I'm gonna have to use these in it. I haven't done it yet because, like I said, life complicated, but I am going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it. Maybe I'll do it after I finish this. Maybe I'll do a series of them. More dots, which everybody's crazy for it. Even those who say they hate dots are really crazy for them because it makes tiling and finishing just a joy. And then these parts. I don't use these very much. Like I want to, because there's just, like I look at that and I go, this is so useful. Like I can see there's so much that I want to do there, but I never use them because the way to connect them, like I think you have to be a bit more deliberate than what I'm doing. Like I sort of just start and then change it as I go. Case in point is these parts here, which I just really like these tread parts. Yeah, I really like that. But those were an afterthought. So, and they're far too loosely attached because I just had some stud points and I was like going, oh, I'll finish it off and I'll just leave some up there so that I'll be able to add in some detailing to his chest, which is, you know, with the dials and so forth. But these ones, I liked this. I stuck it on and I was like, ooh, I really like that. But I should have had another anchor point down the bottom because it bugs me when they're twisty and they're crooked and stuff. You know, the poor little man. It should be straight. It should be nice and even, you know. Oh, there goes the key. Bye. Another bracket. See how useful are those brackets? Okay, so this is how I made the neck formation with the really cool hollow columns, which, look at these. Okay, tell me that I'm crazy, but that is right there with the way those hollows come from. Stick it up and build those enough here, that is going to be a fantastic little micro tower, right? It's going to be a great little apartment building if we step them at different angles like this, so it looks a bit like, you know, some famous architect has been given a commission in the middle of a really densely populated city. So there's nothing particularly interesting about this one. I just made sure that there was, I built in the hollow there so that I can center the neck. Just added some of those telephone slopes for a little bit of curve. There's nothing crazy exciting about that. But this is the part that I found. This is when I went, this is the one that made me go, I'll build it like upside down. Because when I found this one, I was like, I could just use the regular slopes. But when I went, oh, hang on. I think this one will do it for me. And take these bits off. And this is the piece, the exact piece that made me go, upside down, upside down. This guy. Yeah, We've all got them, I'm sure, just lurking, right? And this is it, because I went, look at that. Perfect, with that shape up like that, and the fact that there was the two different layers, but also the fact that it's got the hollow studs. Yeah. Yeah. I love them. I love them. Anyway, so that's the reason when I looked at that and I went, oh yeah, that will work, because it will give that neck to come up. So it's not just two blocky, boom, boom, square, 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 square. So that was it, that was the reason. Other than this, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, there's nothing exciting about this. I just made sure in the middle was strong enough, but hollow enough, so it wasn't, because if you use too much in the middle there and you're pressing it all down, if one's just not quite in the right place, it's hard to make it connect, and so any little faults, you see it cracking further up. So I tend to build around the edge and just give structural support, also so that you're not using too many pieces, obviously, which is a big bonus, because that's the one thing about making a mock is when you've made something, if you decide to keep it, you don't have those pieces like available. And yeah, that's why I'm getting rid of this one. Because even though I've got plenty of grey bricks, I'm just looking at it and going, oh, I could be using that. I could be using that. I don't keep many. So this one lasted a long time, and I've got another one, the bicycle caravan that I made, and I've kept that, but that's just because I really want to redo it. I need a third version of it because it's not quite there. It's not quite there. Once I've got it and figured it out, then it can be pulled apart. And I've also kept a candlestick telephone, because I want to see if I can improve that one, because I don't like the fact that it's the join, like the cradle for the receiver, it's just a little bit fragile. I need it to be stronger. Because a couple of people said that they would buy it if it was a set, if it was on Ideas, and I was like, oh well, I haven't seen anything like that on Ideas, so maybe I could give it a try, do like a bit of a retro theme. I do like retro stuff. So I mean, the typewriter got made, and that was awesome. I mean, way above my telephone, I admit. I'm not trying to compare myself to that. But yeah, that one I've kept just because I like looking at it. And even though every time I look at it, it reminds me that one dude that every time I build and compete in little build challenges, I mean, it's a friendly competition, but still, every time I do it, I'm really hoping there's a few people, if you really like their style and you trust their judgment and you like the pieces that they vote for, you really do want them to vote for yours as well. And he didn't vote for me. I came second, and I'm going, if he had voted for it, maybe I could have come first. But, well, no, actually, there was another build, again, another one that I like, and neither of them voted for it. And I just want to ask, why? Why? What did you see? What flaw was it that you saw? Because I want to make it better. I want to make it better, so maybe they can tell me why they didn't vote for it, and then maybe that can help me like make it better, because at the moment I'm just looking at it going, I know you need to be better, but I don't know how. And it's not like with cooking where it's just add nutmeg. By the way, that is some serious life advice. For almost everything, if you're going, I really like this meal, but it's just not quite there, add nutmeg. Just like King of the Hill said, add nutmeg. Guess it works. It works. Well, obviously it's not universal advice. There's a few things it wouldn't go well with, but for anything earthy or really creamy, really heavy, intense fat tastes, nutmeg. And it does amazing things to beetroot, because beetroot can just taste like kind of dirt, right? Fruity dirt. But with nutmeg, suddenly it's a saucy little thing. This is pulled apart pretty much. There we go. It's all gone. All done. Disassembled. It feels like such an awful thing to do to a robot. It's a Lego robot, and you know, Lego's supposed to be pulled apart, and you know, robots, that's, ooh, see that little shake? That's not the universe like telling me that there's a problem with the robots. It's not Skynet or anything. That's just my cat. My cat came up and was getting excited by the camera legs. Aren't we all though? You know, camera legs. They're so long. Not camera legs, anyway, it's tripod legs. What am I talking about? Okay, this is done. I'm done. And this is a ridiculous video, but at least I'm back to trying some stuff, and I better go and sort out that spawn of Satan, whatever he's doing over there, because he loves to get into the boxes of Lego, like just dig in his claws and like, and if I've got them out for sorting, like in a row, he'll dig one and dig through, but then he'll fix some into the other one. It does feel deliberate. It feels so deliberate. He's looking at me and I don't know what he's punishing me for, but it must be bad. Okay, that's me done, and I'll go back in and add the photos, and at the end I'll have a little tile so you can see the pictures of this guy when he was built, and that's it. Okay, bye. Thanks for stopping by.